let's talk about divorce part 2. I made a video earlier talking about divorce, and that one more so centered on how not to end up in divorce, how to save your marriage. But this one, I want to talk to the people who are experiencing divorce. It's like, okay, you've done everything you wanted to do or that you knew to do to save your marriage, and now you're here in divorce. For whatever the reason is, whether it's your fault or somebody's fault or nobody's fault. It's just a mutual agreement. Y'all are here. How do you walk through that in a healthy way? First, you should realize that divorce is just like a death. So you are going to grieve. And it's okay to grieve the loss of what you had hoped your marriage would be. You can go through that grief. Now, there's really no time stamp on grief. I would suggest that you don't jump into another relationship right away. Heal first before you get into another relationship. Learn who you are. Sometimes, we're in marriages, and some marriages, are just a few months. Some can be years. And so that's years of you catering to someone else, or, making sure that they are happy. And sometimes we forget what we actually like. Sometimes you may even feel like you lost your voice in that marriage. So take your single time to figure out who you actually are, what you like, and even practicing being vocal with your likes and dislikes. I know it always look like my head is just on a swivel all the time. I be driving to work, so I'm checking for traffic. So I'm not this paranoid person just looking from side to side. I'm making sure I don't get hit. But yeah, when you're going through a divorce, yes, before you jump into something else, start the journey of learning who you are. And then I would not recommend, turning to alcohol or vices that lead to addiction. I wouldn't do that. Try being on a healthy journey while you're going through this. You may turn to the Lord. You may not turn to the Lord. Some people get angry at God when you go through a big loss. Everything ain't God's fault sometimes. Okay? Sometimes we give even the devil too much credit. Some things happen because of your choices. So if you have children, I would say what will help you get through this divorce is to always think about what is best for the child. Alienating the other parent is not what's best for the child. Talking about or saying negative things about the other parent to the child, that is not what's best for them. It actually causes them to feel like they have to choose who they should love. When instead, allow your child the space to love both of you unconditionally, to love both of you freely. They should be able to talk to you, they should be able to talk about the other parent to you without you getting upset. Even if that parent, you all didn't make it, that doesn't mean that they won't be a good parent. That doesn't mean that they're a bad parent. They might not be great at being in relationships, but they may actually be great parents. And though financial child support is important, physical child support is also important. It is important for that child to be able to see the other parent. So if that other parent is willing to be in the child's life, do all that you can not to prevent that. Because really it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt. If you are that parent that's keeping your child away from the other parent out of spite, that's gonna bite you in the butt. Just do your job as a parent. Just do your job on your end. It would be great if both of you could get on the same page as far as how you're going to raise the child. That's not always the case in every situation. Some people are more difficult to deal with. Some people feel like, well, it's my way or the highway. You have to realize once those houses split, you two do things differently. I can't tell him how to run his house from my house. I can, my child knows what you better not do is come here with any other stuff that your daddy may allow. And what else you better not do is try to play us against each other. Neither one of us are going to tolerate that. So they know we are a united front. Now, behind closed doors, I'm going to tell him what my disagreement is or whatever. But in front of that child, we are a united front. And then also going through divorce, say if the other person, you or the other person, you have now moved on, you have a significant other, it's okay for multiple people to love your child. Like, no one can have too many people that love them. If the significant other of your ex is not abusive, they treat your child well, allow your child to have that other piece of the village, because it does take a village to raise one child. But just know that, and I also want you to know, you're going through a divorce, that doesn't make you less than. Because you're single, it doesn't mean you're worthless. Marriage, while it is rewarding, it is not the end-all be-all to life. If you are happy in your singleness, be that. You can be single and still not sin. You can still be single and not just be out here in these streets. You can do fun things. You could go on cruises. You can go on trips. Or if you want to just sit at home, you can do that too. So you don't necessarily have to be in a marriage to be happy. And let me just say this. If you are already an unhappy person in your singleness, marriage is not what's going to make you happy. You're going to be an unhappy person in your marriage. You have to figure out what makes you happy. And then when you get with that person, they just add to it. They complement, everything that you work for. So I might have more to this video, but for now, that's what I'm going to leave you with. And remember to sit on the white furniture. Don't be afraid to make the move, whatever that move is. Y'all have a good day.